Hello everyone in Bandside. A church member came to the door last week. She gave me a bottle of vodka. I was about to quip that I really didn't like the stuff. I preferred, but before I could say a word, she said it wasn't for drinking. She said she used to work in a lab where they used alcohol to keep hands and equipment clean. She went on to say that in our current circumstances, with alcohol-based hand sanitizers disappearing off the shelves, she had been thinking of a way to keep me safe if I needed to be out. And she had come up with what we can call the cheap vodka option. For me, this was a lovely example of imaginative thinking to be helpful and supportive when we know we have to do things differently. And that's really what Bandside is gearing up for at the moment, doing things differently. I have to tell you that we will not be able to do any more services like last Sundays from our Bandside sanctuary, but we're already thinking imaginatively of a different form of service to ensure worship continues. In connection with that, keep the faith, hope and love hands coming in so that we can include those in our worship this coming Sunday. And leadership in Bandside has adapted to these changing times. Session has appointed a subcommittee to oversee all aspects of church life through the time of coronavirus. We have just sent £500 from our local mission fund in Bandside to support J29 in its work helping families already under pressure in our own town. We'll also support folk in our own family of faith from this same fund as need is identified. In addition, we'll create a list of people who can deliver groceries or pick up prescriptions for folk at risk in our own congregation. At the heart of all of this is the gospel imperative for followers of Jesus to think of others. And front and centre of our thinking at this time is doctors and health workers, those in Bandside, across these islands, across Europe and around the world. We are one human family, and we are all indebted to everyone on the front line in the struggle against coronavirus. And let me say that for as long as it takes, we will hold you in the light of prayer. We will support you. We will encourage you and stand in solidarity with you. We will weep with you. Specifically, we also want to think of the Reverend Sarah Smith, who has just arrived in Edinburgh to do an assistantship as part of the process of becoming a minister of the Church of Scotland. We really do wish Sarah a real sense of God's peace and protection as she begins a new phase of ministry in the oddest of times. In some ways, it feels like we're living in the Shadowlands just now. Anxiety levels are creeping up because we know something fearful and ominous is out there just about to happen, just around the corner, but we can't get our heads round what it'll be like or the impact it will have. Amid all the uncertainty, the little letter of James draws our hearts and our minds to the deep truth that God wills good. Remember that. God wills good. God directs lights to shine here and there. And God does not change like shifting shadows. And as the psalmist puts it, even when we are convinced that the darkness is about to surround us and disorient us, even when we are sure the little light we have left is about to turn to night, the darkness is not dark to God. The night will be flipped to light by God, for darkness is as light to God. Let me finish with a short, focused prayer, which I think just about says it all for living in these strange times. It comes from the early years of the Church of England, and it says, Lord, be within us to strengthen us, without us to keep us safe, over us to shelter us, beneath us to support us, in front of us to direct us, behind us to guide us, all around us to protect us. Let that be. Amen. God bless. Light for your journey in these times.